We huff and puff, but we didn't blow any houses down. We were huffing and puffing and having gas. That's what we done. Now, I know most fans don't want to relive what happened last night, right? Most fans just want to forget. Most fans just want to move on. But I'm that kind of fan. I'm that fan that wants to understand why we failed, how we failed, and how we can look to improve. Now, I'm not the manager, but I love these intricate details. I love these things. I love to focus on these things. I love to highlight these things. Because for me, I just love it. I just love Arsenal, mate. And forgive me for loving Arsenal too much that I even want to get deep into the stats even after a loss. Forgive me. But that's just my love for my team. That's just my love for the game. I think this is basically part of my disposition as a person. Let me just clear up a few things, right? A few comments. I had a comment from this Man United fan. Yeah, I know this guy, this Man United fan, saying, "Oh, great result." I'm thinking, how dare you? How dare you leave a comment on an Arsenal video talking about with a sarcasm? Because obviously we lost. So he's not being sincere. He's not being genuine. He's being sarcastic, saying, how dare you? You've literally just lost to Galatasaray. I don't see you how you get this confidence or this bravado to come to an Arsenal fan to basically with some kind of sarcasm. Like, I don't understand it. Like, yeah, we lost, but you lost as well. And you're on 0 points in your group. 0 points. You're the worst team in your group. So don't come with that about great result. Like, nah. Fix up, man. Fix up. You Man United fans, you're shameless. Have something about you, man. Listen, if my team was losing, I wouldn't have any time to be criticizing any other team. I wouldn't have any time to be focusing on any other team. I would only be concentrated on my team, right? That's what United fans should start doing. Focus on your team, lad. Leave the Gunners alone. We have a blip. It happens. We move on. Another thing. Another comment says, I didn't do my due diligence, because if I'd done my due diligence, then I would have known that Lens came second to PSG last season. I'm thinking, what? Mate, that's last season. Listen, you don't hear me talking about Arsenal came second to the best team in the world, in the best league in the world. You don't hear me talking about that. That's last season. I'm talking about this season, and this season they sold their 2 best players. So obviously I'm not expecting them to be as good as they are. And you might wonder, oh, they sold their 2 best players, but they still got other good players. Well, the league table shows otherwise, right? The league table, they're basically 4th from relegation. They're 4th from relegation. So obviously those 2 players contributed a lot to them, right? So this guy, oh, you didn't do your due diligence because you would have known that they came second to PSG. Man, who cares? That's last season, bro. We're talking about this season. And this season, we are a better team. Look, if I was comparing us to last season, we're a better team than we were last season. And we compete because we signed better players, naming one, Declan Rice. Duran Timber is injured, so I won't even mention him. But Declan Rice is a better player than what we've got in midfield right now. Arguably, Partey is better, but Partey is once again injured. He's not reliable. So by right, we should be better than last season. So on that metrics as well, these are the things these are the reasons why I said that, man, we should have won comfortably. But anyways, enough of all that. Let's get into the stats, because this is it, that some fans just want to bury their head in the sand, but that's not me. And I know there's a few of us out there that love our team, that love football, that despite of the results, we're going to want to know, we're going to want to understand what went wrong. Right, so let's just get straight into the stats right now. So this is the stats. We see David Raya with a 6.3, and for me, this is David Raya poorest match. He was absolutely poor, dreadful. I see him done a few passes, namely the one to Saka that got intercepted that led to Lens' first goal, and I don't know, man, David Raya. Something was up with this match. It's not just Raya, it's the entire team, but I'm focusing on Raya right now. Raya, his passing was up. Most of his passes went out. And this is not Raya. This is like Ramsdale performance. This is a Ramsdale performance when he's not under pressure. And I see Raya kicking out the ball about 2 to 3 times. I see him kicking out the ball for throwing. I'm thinking, this is not, come on, Raya, man. I expected better from you. No, I'm not going to get in on Raya, and he done a few passes because I see him zip one into Zinchenko and beat the press, beat about 5 players, beating the press, giving Zinchenko the space to drive to their backline. So I'm not going to criticize them heavily, but yeah, he had a poor match for me. Tamiyasu with a 6.9. He done okay. Saliba 6.6 done okay. Gabriel Magalhaes 6.9 done okay. Zinchenko 6.6. Zinchenko played better than this stat. I have to give him that. He was one of our most threatening player, considering he's a left back, or a left wing back, or inverted left back, or inverted wing back, whatever you want to call him. Kai Havertz 6.6. Declan Rice 7.9. He was the man of the match on both sides. He controlled the midfield. But once again, we cannot play with one player. And for me, Declan Rice was the only player that's fighting. The defense done okay. They could have done better, but they done okay. The pass from Raya led to their first goal. I can't really blame the defense. Everyone got caught up position because they was in attacking transition, and I can't blame the team for not being defensive transition, because that's how we score most of our goals. So if I criticize them for that, I have to be consistent and criticize even when we score goals from them being in that position, and I can't do that. So once again, it's just one of those days. Whereas Raya goal kick, he just had an awkward bounce when he came to Bukayo Saka, and then he got intercepted and led to the goal. But it wasn't the defense. I can't blame that on the defense. Martin Odegaard 6.9. Once again, he had a poor match from me. It wasn't effective in this game. He could have done a lot better. In matches like this, I expect Odegaard to thrive, because this is a Champions League. It's higher stakes. It's a more prestige competition to these players, and Odegaard is that type of player that like things like this. So I expected him to have a very good match, and it's not the best team. We're not playing the best team in the world, right? It's only Lens. No offense to Lens, we're not playing the best team in the world, right? You see Leandro Trossard with 6.4. Once again, a poor match. Very, very, very poor from Trossard. Man, we miss Martinelli right now. About now, and it looks like we're going to be missing Saka as well. So basically, potentially, we're missing two of our two best wingers. We're missing our two best wingers, and for me, this spells trouble against City. Gabriel Jesus having a 7.1. So the expected goal, we had 1.2 expected goal, their 0.8. Shots on goal, so they overperform on their XG. Shots on goal, basically similar. We had 11, they had 10. Shots on targets, we had 6, they had 3. So you know that they were very clinical to be scoring 2 goals from 3 shots on target, while we are the opposite, having 6 shots on target, only scoring 1. That's what I'm saying. I'm not criticizing these players right now in terms of Gabriel J. I'm not criticizing Gabriel J. Kai Havertz, yeah, he needs to improve going forward. But once again, I believe that Arteta is working on his defensive play, so I can't really criticize that right now. Trossard should have done a lot better, but he's coming back from injury. There's so much nuances to this performance that I don't even know how to feel, man, because once again, we need a clinical striker. I will keep saying this, and I believe we're going to get one in January, by the way. If not January, the summer, but I think we need one sooner or later. We need another right winger, and we need a centre forward, because we see Saka's injured now. There's no one to take. I don't want to see Reece Nelson in my starting lineup. Reece Nelson is an impact player at best for me. If we want to be competing with the likes of City, with the likes of Real Madrid, with the likes of Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Reece Nelson can't be in our starting lineup. Even if we get injured, that guy should be he shouldn't even be backup to Gabriel Magalhaes. He shouldn't be backup to Martinelli. He should not be backup to Saka. This guy should be an impact player, a backup's backup. That's for me. No offense to Reece Nelson, but he's not good enough to be competing for a starting place in my team. Now, possession, we had 66.9 possession today, 33.1. We had so much possession, I have nothing to show for it. Field tilt was 74.7% to 25%. Final third entry is 77. We have 77 final third entries today, 26. Expected threat, we had 2.7 to their 1.1. Deep touches, we had 37 to their 15. And interception, we had 9 interception comparing to their 6. So for me, overall we had a better game on the stats, right? The stats says that we should have had a better game than them. Most of the stats, we were better than them on most of these stats, right? So this is what I'm saying, that it's not an easy thing to say that we were rubbish on the day, we were this, we were that. This could have been caused by many different things. One of the reasons I'm saying that They basically their flight got delayed. Took them 5 hours to leave the runway, right? These things add to the mental distraction. These things add to the distraction, and it can cause mental lapses. And that's one of the reasons. The other reason, I think they have one eye on City. They have one eye to play against City, so they didn't perform the way that they should, the way that they can, the way that we believe they would have. Now, if we look at the average possession, on the left hand side, we see the main thing we see is a normal lineup, but the main thing we see is Bukayo Saka by himself on the right hand side. And normally we always see Saka. And by the way, these guys are playing with a 5 at the back, so we can't forget that. One of the main reasons why we were so poor in this match, it was they were playing a low block. And this is me saying the last Champions League match, oh man, we're going to have a brilliant Champions League run, because every team is going to be coming attacking. Because this is the first time in the Champions League, the teams they might do their research, but they won't have as much stats on us as the Premier League team would have. And basically, I don't see no team is going to be setting up to defend. I thought that most teams will be fearless, if not all. But here we go. We have to find lens, right? Set up defensively, having five at the back, and that stifled our play, because most of the time we're going to see in the stats the players that keep going from side to side. So, and one of the main reasons is the 5 at the back. We did not know how to break them down. We didn't have Martinelli's space to get behind. We didn't have Saka's space for most times to break their defensive line. And even though we had him, he wasn't at his best, right? So for me, this is one of the main reasons why. So we see Saka by himself. Normally we see Odegaard with him, right? Especially when we're playing low blocks, we normally see Odegaard right beside Saka, but we see Odegaard in the middle. And the only thing I can say is that Arteta miscalculated and thought that they would come with a normal setup probably 4 at the back, but they came with a 5 at the back. 5 at the back. So from my understanding, normally Odegaard plays right with Saka when there's a low block. But in this match, and against PSV, it's the same thing. Odegaard plays in the middle, and against PSV, this is why I get so much joy, because we played against 4 defenders, and he can basically fit in those tight spaces, right, to thread through balls and also to take shots on goal. But in this match, there was no space. The space were very limited at the back. So this is why I believe Odegaard had a poor game, and this is why I believe that the right hand side didn't function as well as we normally do in the Premier League, because Saka was missing an instrument part. Saka was missing a key part to his gameplay, which is Odegaard. Now on the right hand side, we see when the subs came on, and Nketiah went straight. If you see, look on the left hand side, Havertz position, everyone is in the middle, basically in the middle, right? But when the subs came on, we see Nketiah on that edge of the 18, right? And we see Reece Nelson close behind him. And we see that the play is mostly drifting on the right hand side. So there was a change up in the formation, there was a change up in the system, and we start attacking more when the substitute came on. This is why we see Eddie Nketiah and Reece Nelson so forward. And for Reece Nelson, once again, is so frustrating, man. This guy don't know how to dribble. For me, he's playing like the Reece Nelson I knew once. Right, the Reece Nelson long before when Joe Willock was here, and this is the Reece Nelson I'm remembering right now. I don't like it, man. I don't like it. We need Neto. We need Neto right now. So basically, these were the top 7 players in the match for both teams, right? And we see Declan Rice tops it. That's what I'm saying. Declan Rice was the best player on the pitch. He had 113 passes completed, 104. That's a 92% passing accuracy. And he had 9 duels, winning 8. 6 of those duels were ground duels. He won 6 out of 6, and 3 of those duels were aerial duels, and he won 2. Now, the second best player on the pitch was Samba, which is their keeper. And for me, this is a telling sign to say that, listen, we done something, right? We done something. We just basically had gas, because there was no results. There was no end results for all these huffing and puffing, 66%, having 6 shots on target, be huffing and puffing, and just releasing gas at the other end. That's what we were like. I can't find any other way to put it. We were poor. So Samba was their keeper, and he had an okay match. But once again, most of the shots, they came directly at him. Tomiyasu shot right at him. When Smith Rowe came on, shot right at him. Havertz shot right at him. Most of these shots, they came straight at him, so he didn't have to do much to stop the ball, right? Why, as I mentioned yesterday, he had a superb match. Basically having 10 passes, having a success rate of 90%, having 9 successful, having 3 duels. Even though he didn't win any, he was in the duels. And once again, even though he didn't win any duels, he was in the duel once again. And playing against defenders like Saliba and Gabriel, he ain't gonna have much luck, man. He ain't gonna have much success playing against these centre backs. These centre backs are brilliant. They're great. The next player is Sotoka. Having 3 tackles, having a percentage rate of 77 passing percent. He was in 15 duels, winning 9, and 11 ground duels, winning 5, 4 aerial duels, winning 4. Now this is a forward. A forward is involved in 15 duels. That shows you that he was up against our defender, fighting, struggling against our defender. And in partly he done well because he won 9. To winning 9 against our defense and our midfield with Declan Rice in the middle, that's not a bad feat, right? And even in the end, this was a tactic, because I see even in the end of the game, they kept going on that side, their right hand side, which is our left hand side. They keep on pinging the ball to that guy, pinging it, and this is where they had success, aerial duels, because we see this guy, he had won 4-4 aerial duels, so it worked for them, right? It was a strategy, they came with it, and it basically worked for them. Now, I want to compare their forward with our forward. Gabriel Jesus had 11 duels, winning 3, right? Adding 9 ground duels, only winning 2. Now, this, for me, I didn't even need to go to aerial duels. For me, this is already poor. And normally, Gabriel Jesus is normally strong on the ball, normally shaking man off, normally beating people in ground duels and aerial duels, even though it's short. But this match, he wasn't having it. The defenders weren't having it. I'm telling you, they keep on slapping away Jesus, slapping away Kai Havertz, these players, slapping away Trossard. These players, they were too weak. And not often we can say that about Gabriel J, because even in the last match, Gabriel J was the second best person in winning duels, apart from Kai Havertz. Gabriel J was on form in terms of winning the ball back, in terms of his strength, in terms of his duels. He was very good. But this match, as what I've said, they played 5 at the back, make it more difficult, especially with those big aggressive players they have in the center. Once Gabriel J is getting barged off the ball, there's no much hope for us in this match. Now this is a shot map comparison. Look, when you see Lens, yeah, they had 2 goals, right? And these are the position where you see the stars are the position of their goals. Now look at everywhere else, yeah, off target apart from one, this one out here. So they had 3 shots on target, as you see, and these were the 3 shots. The 2-star, which is a goal, and this shot out here. The rest were off target. Now compare that to us. Yeah, we had 1 goal, which is right there for Jesus. We had 6 on target. So some of these shots are on top of each other. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one. This looks like is on top of it. So the 6 shots we had on target. Take scoring only 1, and these shots, look how close they are to goal. I think this one was Tamiyasu, this one was Havertz, and this one was Trossard. I don't even remember how it goes, but I know that these 3 shots, they're right in front of goal. And you can't tell me you can't convert not even 1. This is poor. This is what I'm saying. We need a clinical striker. Once again, not shade on Jesus, not shade on Nketiah. These guys can still do a job for us, but we need a clinical striker. So we scored nicely in the field tilt. You see, basically the field tilt is for us, and they scored against play. If you check the filter, look at that. They only have 1 little dominance, 1 little spell of dominance they had, and it was here. Apart from there, we controlled the entire match, And and look at this. This is the momentum. Apart from these 1, 2, 3, 5 phases, we controlled the entire match in momentum and the field tilt. We were so dominant in the match. But one of the things is that, once again, it was a boring match to watch. It was boring against Bournemouth, but I understand because we got the result, right? We made the match boring because that's the way we feel like we could get that result. But this match, man, it was so boring to watch, and we weren't getting nowhere. We were just playing in circles. Look at this. So the big circles shows you the number of touches, right? Now we see that the person that had the most touch was Declan Rice and Zinchenko. The second person is William Saliba and Gabriel, the 2 defenders, the 2 centre backs. The next person is Tamiyasu, the right back. So the 5 biggest players with touches, and you could say that David Raya has bigger touch than the forwards. And then Odegaard here having a bit more than the rest of forwards. So we could say that the 6 biggest touches are to defensive-minded players. Plus Odegaard make 7, right? So look at Havertz, small touches. Trossard, small amount of touches. Jesus, small. Saka, small amount of touches. These players have small amount of touches. This is why, no wonder why we can't score goals. Now, when you check out the most passes, Declan Rice, Zinchenko have the most progressive passes because I said that he was dictating play. Look at the passes, the passing lanes. It's like a spider web. Zinchenko, for the last few matches, Zinchenko has been competing with Odegaard for progressive passes. Most deep completions, Leandro Trossard. XG chain, Tamiyasu. Now, most XT passing, which is potential threat, that's Saliba. Saliba had more potential threat than passing. And for me, last video I said Gabriel Magalhaes had the most threatening passes, but this match we see Saliba is in competition. Saliba is saying that no, you can't have all the glory. I need to improve my passing. And I told you guys that for right now, Gabriel is doing better than Saliba in the final third passes, in the final in basically XTs, right? Creating passes. And now Saliba is improving this because Saliba is saying that, listen, you ain't passing me in nothing. And I love this competition between the two. It's a friendly competition, and we're going to be all better for it. So I love to see that. Well done, Saliba, in improving your passing. So that's the video there and then, guys. All in all, I know that we were all disappointed, and there's a lot we can learn from this match. There's a lot, and I hope Arteta takes it all on board. Once again, I blame Arteta. I blame the players. There is no one that's inexcusable from this defeat apart from Declan Rice. He's the only one I see played his heart out, played with his heart on his sleeve. He done brilliantly in the match. Then the stat shows, right? Even though Lens played well and they had a brilliant goal scorer, we see that Havertz still had we see that Declan Rice still had a bigger and a better ratings than all of them. The second player that had a good rating, or the best player for them, was their keeper. So that shows that we done okay in this match. We just need to start learning to convert those chances. We need to get a clinical finisher, because matches like these, to be fair, matches like these a few years ago we would have lost by more goals. So on that front is an improvement, but we can't rely on these kind of plays. We need to be more threatening. We need to be more clinical. We need to be more of a imposing team. When we go to people's home ground, we bully them. We need to be teams. We need to be a team like this, because these are the signs of a great team. To go to anywhere and perform well, even if we're not playing well, we're still grinding out results. And this is what we need to improve on, especially when we're playing against 5 defenders. So the main 3 reasons for this defeat: we got held up at the airport. The players had one eye on City, and we played against 5 defenders. And I don't believe we were expecting that. So these are the 3 reasons why I think that we lost this match ultimately, even though we had 6 shots on target. Yes, these are the reasons why, and we need a clinical. The 4th thing, our finishes aren't clinical enough. Jesus' first goal was very clinical, fair enough, but after that, he was missing in terms of shots, in terms of creativity. I see him having a snapshot that went over the bar, not good enough. Right, not good enough. So that's the video there and then, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share if you're not already subscribed, because I'm on my way to 100 subs. Catch you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.